Most sports talking heads make predictions, then hope you forget about how wrong they were. But not Mackey and Judd.
Write this down.
This is the big leagues, where we own our terrible predictions.
Write that down.
And keep track of each other's batting averages. It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With Mackey and Judd.
When are you going to admit it? Why don't you finally admit that you were wrong? Judd, Mackey, Declan.
I'm spending the whole show admitting to my faults. What more could you want?
You did. You distracted a little bit with the Ode to Joy flag at the beginning. But yes, we did a deep dive into Judd being wrong, and all of us, about the Vikings blowing it up or not back in January. You can find that if you missed it. But this is the most innovative and risky segment in all of sports media. The only show in America that actually keeps statistical track of our predictions, so you can see how right and wrong we are on a regular basis. So we don't want to hear any of this like, you guys could never admit that you're wrong. No, we are the only show that actually shows you how wrong we are on a regular basis. So don't be fooled by these NFL Network segments where they've stolen the name, Write This Down, but they don't actually log the history of their predictions. Yep. They just move on to the next week like cowards.
Write this down and then throw it away is not part of what we do.
No, it's disingenuous. So here's how it works. Every week, 3 predictions from everybody. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs. And listeners, if you want to participate like Michael is about to, you can send us a message through the Score North app. Send it to Declan. We'll get you scheduled for probably maybe by the end of the year if we can, but early 2023. This is so the Mackey and Judd Write That Down calendar year. It ends with, I guess there's some ambiguity here, but it ends with the calendar year and then football season predictions that could also trickle in. So maybe we just need to officially say that it's all predictions have to be in by the end of the year unless they are football season predictions, and then we tally up football season predictions for the month of January, and we do kind of a restart. So a little bit of January is kind of a gray area here. But Declan has been leading wire to wire, basically, on both shows, really. We had some back and forth on Purple Daily with the completion percentage for a couple months, but this has been an unprecedented year for Declan, wire to wire situation.
Yeah, everyone always says when are Mackey and Judd going to admit they were wrong, and they don't really say that to old Dex tweets
because he's never
Dex
wrong.
Tweets is right more than he's wrong for the most part. So I'm doing okay. I'm just trying to play my game, man. I'm not trying to be anyone else's game. I'm just trying to play Dex Tweets' game.
Well, let's see what game Judd was playing last week. We'll start with him, the accountability session.
Oh.
He was playing the push predictions into the future game because nothing came off the board for Judd.
Wait till we get to the Purple Daily. Write that down. Judd suffered a very tough week.
Purple Daily Write That Down is going to be really interesting today. Leave it there for now.
Oh, Macadac.
Macadac had some red here. He said the Timberwolves would unveil a new starting lineup for that Phoenix game that they haven't used before, and they did. Inexplicably just went back to it and got smoked. And then I said against the Suns, Ant would shoot 50% or better, 25 points or more, and would tie or set a season high in free throw. I think he did that like a game or two later, but it was not. So my radar was off. Listeners had a bad week.
Man.
Travis said the Vikings would beat the Bills. He got that part right in the parlay. But he said Cousins would have 4 touchdown passes, 2 to Hawkinson, 2 to Jefferson.
Got way too haughty right there, Travis.
He was feeling good after that first drive, though.
Yeah, don't parlay.
Yeah, true.
Careful with the parlays, kids. Anthony said Dalvin Cook, this is a really bad beat. He said Dalvin Cook will have 150 all-purpose yards.
What did he have?
I believe he had 146 all-purpose yards. Just brutal.
Oh, my God.
Woof.
And then Eric he self-reported this because he's the one keeping track of NASCAR stats. He had a 3-item NASCAR parlay. He said, so Eric said there'll be 2 first-time winners in the NASCAR Cup Series in 2022, which there was. That the 2022 Cup Series Rookie of the Year would be Austin Cinch. He said that did happen. But then he self-reported that he said at least 15 Cup races will be affected by weather. He counted only 9.
Wow.
Why wouldn't he just lie?
Yeah, just leave that one out.
He could have lied. He could have said, 20 of them were affected. And we would have said, okay.
You could have checked realistically on 1 and 2, right? So you can't
was
really
like,
lie on those. That third one, just lie, Eric.
That was like the Tour de France predictions we had too earlier from that listener. I was like, I don't know if Mackey and I are going to be able to figure those ones
to
out.
track these. Yeah, like how do you even? I guess is there like a box score for NASCAR races where you can go in and see that the game was delayed?
Online, probably.
Oh, well, I mean, just with how, and this is F1, I know he's doing a NASCAR, but like just the amount of information that's now available on F1, I got to imagine that's also existed for NASCAR, and we just probably haven't been paying attention.
You know, I would watch more NASCAR if they made those guys power through bad weather. The walls are safer now. Don't they have Dale Earnhardt died like 20 years ago. I think the walls are safer. I'd make those guys drive in snowstorms and hailstorms. You want to see, get me to watch a NASCAR race? Why don't you do these outdoor tracks like these road courses they have, but do it in the middle of a Minneapolis blizzard and let's see who the best racer is.
There's nothing that you could do to get me current day to watch NASCAR now.
Okay, sports snob.
Uh-huh.
All right, Declan had also a bad week. You said this wasn't a very high bar because they played 4 games. You said the Wild would score at least 6 5-on-5 goals in the last week.
Yeah.
They had 5.
Yeah. You guys said, what a bunt prediction. This team can't score 5-on-5 goals. This was going to be this was
They
hard
even had
to
a
get.
shorthanded goal in the last week.
I know. They're
in trouble, dude.
Can't score. They cannot score, which in hockey is a problem if you want to win games.
Well, it'd be nice if Marco Rossi would score at some point, and you said he would in the last week, but he did not.
Appreciate that.
Wow. Transitioned very well.
You said the Wolves would be at least 5 games above 500 by November 26th. This is now a mathematical impossibility. They cannot get to 5 games above 500 by November 26th. They do not have enough games. And then you said this should have come off the board a while ago. You said the Wolves would be a top 10 team in ESPN's power rankings at some point in October. They were not. It's one of the toughest weeks of the year for you. Are you kind of pulling a Buffalo Bills here right now? A little 17-point lead, fourth quarter?
No, not at all. I will still not run the ball if you want to, me to be Buffalo Bills. But no, I'm okay. I'm doing fine.
So your average has dipped to 424, which is like the lowest it's been since February or something. But you still hold about an 80-point lead over Judd at 343. Yeah. I'm at 299, listeners at 290. The home run race is still pretty interesting. You're at 15, Declan. Myself and the listeners tied at 12, and then Judd, the Luis Ariz of the group here, 9 home runs.
You know, with Declan struggling a bit, and like this was bound to take place at some point, I'm wondering if all my predictions should be like for July of 2023, and I just let them come to me.
Do you think?
Or maybe I do the same thing.
Yeah, Judd, you're gonna have to go get Dex.
You're gonna have to go on offense here,
I feel like you won't.
And maybe
I feel like I'm
that
the only one capable of being unethical enough to actually do that.
In 2025,
which you've accused me of several times, by the way.
Yes.
And my moral compass is absolutely fine. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sleeping well at night despite my predictions.
I bet you are.
All right. Can keep doing you, Judd.
We're not going to change now. 53, baby. We're not going to change.
Judd leads all time with 248 hits. Listeners lead all time with 31 career home runs. So there's your accountability session. Let's get guest listener predictor Michael in the room here. This is his debut on Score North, his debut on Mackey and Judd or Purple Daily. Michael, what's going on, man? When did you first become a Minnesota sports fan?
I guess I was born into Minnesota fandom. I have 5 older brothers. And so I just kind of grew up in it, and just kind of always lived the Minnesota misery, I guess.
The Minnesota misery.
The Minnesota misery.
That we need to print those shirts at some point, yeah. That's kind of how it works. You're usually born into. It'd be nice if you could, as a baby, you could just like choose. If you had the consciousness to choose, I'm going to be a 49ers fan or something.
Patriots.
Yeah.
I would have picked the Patriots. I was born in '97, so it would have been perfect.
Perfect.
The Patriots.
So we'll start with Michael, over to Judd, Declan, and back to me. 3 trips around the room. The predictions must be quantifiable in some form.
Write them down. It's like a personal contract with ourselves.
So, Michael, you start us off, man. Go ahead.
Well, write this down. Justin Jefferson and Christian Darrisaw will be selected as first-team All-Pros.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's tracking for sure at this point, right?
That's a solid one.
Yep. Is there anyone else? Is Patrick Peterson tracking?
No.
First team
I
All-Pro,
don't
no.
think so. I don't
Zadarius Smith could be a second team.
Yeah.
All-Pro.
Yeah.
That All-Pro team is really, really hard to make. So
It's stacked,
Oh,
yeah.
who's the dog?
Oh, look
Otis.
at the puppy.
Otis. Good boy. You want
look at
Who's a
Otis.
good boy?
the Nutrisource for Otis. Nutrisource Otis. You want to talk about how great it is?
That's a great
He recognizes your guys' voice. He listens to you in the car all the time.
Oh,
that's
Big
good.
sports fan, probably.
boy.
Big sports fan.
Otis. Okay, Judd, over to you for your first
All right.
prediction.
My first prediction
Write
is
this
this.
down.
I'm actually going to put some faith in a team that I thought I was done with, but the reality is this. Their opponent on Saturday is also not good. So the Gopher football team will end its 7-game losing streak against Iowa on Saturday. So they're playing the Hawkeyes here on Saturday. They will beat them, and that will be the first time that PJ Fleck has beaten the Hawkeyes.
I saw a note that the over-under in that game, I think, is 34.5, which is like the lowest point spread for two schools from a Power 5 conference in like 20 years.
Wow.
And
I
it
buy
still
that.
seems a little high, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Try to do the math on
34.5.
it. Okay, who's scoring more than 17 in this game? So what's our path here? We need a Purdue loss, right?
Yep.
Because Purdue. So right now
Yes.
it's Purdue, Illinois. There's 5 teams tied with 3 losses in the division, and Illinois plays Michigan, so they're probably going to lose and get to 4. If the Gophers run the table and Purdue runs the table, Purdue plays like Northwestern and
Purdue then,
some crappy
yes,
team.
Yes, it's going to be very difficult, and Purdue then wins it.
Yeah, so you need Purdue to.
That was a pesky
choke
loss to
someone.
the Boilermakers at Huntington Bank.
How about that? Home game against Purdue, and you can't score. And that's why they're not going
Write this down.
You know, I picked out the engagement ring that day, and I went to saddle up at the bar to distract the girlfriend. She thought I was still golfing, and then they lose a game at Purdue, so maybe I was the bad omen there.
So you had to kill like 5 hours?
I had to kill like 4 hours, yeah. So like I was able to trick up, 2 hours to ring shopping. Like that was good, but I needed 2 more hours. So I literally went to a bar by myself and watched the second half of the Gopher football game against Purdue.
Which
That is
bar
what I
did you
That's
go
awesome.
to?
I went to Burger Mo's on West 7th in downtown St. Paul.
Okay, so you had to, because you can't go to a Minneapolis bar in case she
Right.
like wanders into one or something.
Right, or yeah, I just
gonna
figured,
want-
Then she's gonna think you're cheating on her
Bartender.
because you,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
lied to
That'd
her.
be
Give me
worse.
another shot. My boyfriend sucks. I've been going to every bar in Minneapolis.
Another Surly, please.
Okay, over to Declan here.
Write
All
this
right.
down.
I'm going to make a World Cup prediction. World Cup starts next week.
Yes.
Oh, I love this.
So
That's a
write
good
this
call.
down. The United States men's national team will beat Wales in their World Cup qualifier on Monday.
Wales.
So they
Wait,
play
have
Wales,
they
and
have a-
actually,
they have a qualifier.
well, it's not qualifier, pool
Opening.
play, whatever the hell it is. I'm not going to pretend to know what the hell I'm talking about here. They're in Group B.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Right.
beat Wales. They're gonna beat Wales.
They're going to beat Wales. And I looked at this because I thought, like, oh, is the United States heavily favorites? According to FanDuel, it is about even between both these teams. So it is not at least in terms of the betting side of things. I know there's probably some soccer stands being like, what the hell are you talking about, Declan?
No, it's
I just
pretty
went on the
even.
betting side. It's pretty
They're,
even, right?
They're pretty even. They're like right in terms of winning the whole World Cup. U.S. is a plus 15,000 and Wales is a plus 20,000. So they're right.
Okay.
They're right in there.
So yeah,
That's fair.
they're with England, Wales, and Iran in Group B. I believe the top 2 usually move on. I think as look at me being a soccer guy. Where's Jonathan Harrison? I need to delegate
Yeah,
to him.
be
here.
careful, or
This is
Pat will
all
be like,
binding.
Declan, you love soccer. Tell us about the World Cup.
I love how like Royce used to either think that you were Jonathan Harrison or that you just looked like a guy that liked soccer
That's what I think
because
was
you
the
wear
line.
like
I think the
Puma
latter.
shirts or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the latter is probably safe to assume.
He just assumed Declan looks like a guy that probably
Yeah.
likes soccer.
You guys with good hair all like soccer,
You know.
so tell me about the World
At least
Cup.
with the Puma one, the best one I get. I didn't know Diet Corey Cove worked for Score North with his love of Puma, so that was probably the better one I've gotten.
Diet Corey Cove. That's amazing.
Write this down.
Okay, I can't help myself. I'm going to go back to the Wolves parlay bin here. So they have a game against Orlando. I'm going to give you a 3-item parlay for that game. We're going to see some D'Lo regression. So here's what it is. D'Lo will shoot I'm going to say under 40% from the field. Cat will score 25 points or more. And Kyle Anderson will be a plus 10 or better. Kyle Anderson's kind of the the glue off the bench.
He is. I like
He
him.
was a plus 17 or something in his last game, so he will give you a plus 10 or better, Cat 25 points or more, but D'Lo regresses. He's feeling himself a little bit. He'll have a bad shooting night, is what I'm saying. All right?
Write this down.
Okay, Michael, your second prediction.
Mackey, I was on the Timberwolves Kool-Aid the whole summer, and after the start of the season, I was going to make some Timberwolves predictions, but I can't bring myself to do it. They are just being another Minnesota team that are just gonna have high hopes and let you down there. So I'm going to stick with my Vikings predictions here, and this one will come off the board next week. Adam Thielen and TJ Hawkinson will each have a touchdown reception against the Cowboys.
I like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's a touchdown if that happens, or a home run, I guess, in this case. I like it.
Write this down.
Still waiting for the first Hawkinson touchdown, aren't we?
Yes.
He's had a couple nice games, but he hasn't cashed pay dirt yet.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by that, but yes, we are.
Otis. Let's hold it down there, Otis. Hey, guy.
He didn't like your prediction, dude. He's like, I told you not to say Thielen. He's hurt too much.
The wife's just getting home from work today, so he's going to greet her at the door there.
Now, you know what? What a good Otis. Okay.
Write this down.
I will stay on the Vikings theme and give you this, write that down. The Vikings have at least 2 more games left on Fox. There's 2 games that remain up in the air, but they have at least 2 more games, if not more, left on Fox, okay? Chris Myers will call at least one of them. Chris Myers will call at least one of them.
They're 8-1. They have to be out of Chris Myers' purgatory.
They've got a Lions game, dude. It sets up perfect.
Yeah.
It sets up perfect for a Chris Myers game.
How is he, of all the talented people doing play-by-play out there?
I agree.
And I don't want this to be a personal attack, but he is the most confused play-by-play guy in all of America.
I might have done that on purpose to get Phil to melt down.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Write that down.
He just makes every game feel like a minor league game to me. Anyways, Declan, go ahead.
All right, I'll make a wild prediction here. The Wild will trade, cut, or move on from Tyson Jost between now and the NHL trade deadline.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm hedging to a little bit here because I believe I have in the Judd's Hockey Show version of Write That Down, which we are also accounting for, I believe, on Mackey and Judd Write That Down, that I said he'd have a breakout year. 20 goals for the former 10th overall pick. This dude's now a healthy scratch and probably will be looking elsewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if they just either put him on waivers, he just is requested out for a late round pick. I think they'll move on from Tyson Jost between now and the NHL trade deadline.
Judd, this is also how you play the game here. This is a very smart prediction in that
pushed it out.
The upside, he taps into 100% upside for this season and pushes out the downside into next season.
100%. I see what he's doing, and I respect it.
Yeah, it's a good play.
Write that down.
It's a good play.
I don't like it, but I respect it.
All right, my guy, Tiger Woods, is making another comeback.
Yes.
This is
at the Hero
You're
World
relapsing,
Challenge.
Mackie. You just did a Wolves parlay, and now you're doing Tiger Woods. We need to get someone to Seattle now.
Tiger Woods is. Did he have like another back surgery or something? I don't know, but
I don't know.
He's back. He's going to play in his own tournament, it's the annual Hero World Challenge against. He brings in 20 or 30 of the best players in the world, and they play a tournament in the Bahamas for $500,000 or something. Yeah. And so you guys you're gonna kind of hurt me for this. Well, you know what? I don't care about my batting average. I was gonna say Tiger Woods will not finish last place, but the batting average doesn't matter for me anymore. Write this down. Tiger Woods will finish top 5 at the Hero World Challenge. It is highly unlikely that he finishes top 5. This is one of the most stacked fields of the year. Tiger Woods will finish top 5 at the Hero World Challenge.
I like it.
Okay.
It is time for a sports intervention with Phil Mackey. Phil, we like you, but we don't like what you're doing today, okay?
I just want Tiger Woods to give me one more run. One more run, man. Come on.
Arnold Palmer. Well, rise up.
Back to Michael for your third and final prediction.
Well, for my third prediction here, write this down. The Minnesota Vikings will finish the season 14-3 and the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Oh, snap. Yeah. So that means a little Eagles tumble is what you're predicting too.
I think the Eagles got a couple more losses against the Cowboys, one in there and one against the Giants. And I think they stumble somewhere. Maybe the Packers beat them or I think maybe they play the Colts. I'm not sure if they play the Titans or not, but I think they stumble a little bit there. And off the record, I think the Vikings lose to the Patriots on Thursday Night Football on Thanksgiving, and then we lose to the Bears after we've already sealed up number 1 seed in the final game this season.
Okay. And I predict that people are going to freak out whenever the Vikings lose again, because we're not like quite used to this roller coaster here. But it's okay. If they do lose a game or two, it's okay. They've shown you what they can do at their peak at Buffalo. So, yeah, Judd,
don't cost yourself home field, which they did in 2009, 17. So lose games, that's fine. You're going to. Don't cost yourself home field. Yep. Get the bye, first of all, and then the home games.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, Michael and Otis, if he's still around, since you've got this life-changing platform here on Score North, Mackey and Judd, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that brought you to this pinnacle moment?
Well, I would definitely like to thank my wife. She, knows Sundays are for the Vikings, and so we sit there and watch the game every single Sunday, or, I guess Monday or Thursday night. Would also like to obviously thank my brothers and my dad, for making me a Minnesota fan. There's a lot of downs, but when the ups are up, it's a lot of fun. So, I just appreciate you guys, having this platform, allowing me to listen to all my Minnesota sports each and every single day. It makes my day go by a little bit quicker there. So I just appreciate you guys, and thanks for having me on.
Love it, Michael. Great work. We'll definitely have to get you and Otis on again sometime. Thanks for coming on,
Otis.
Dude. Good luck with your predictions. Who's a good boy?
Otis is a good boy. Who loves their sports teams? Otis loves his sports teams.
Judd, maybe you can be a good boy and tell us about a great gift idea for the holiday season for our Mackey and Judd listeners.
In fact, I can tell you this with complete confidence. I am wrong on write that down and in life, but you know what? Write this down. If you're looking for a gift for the holidays, Christmas, birthdays, Spiral Light Candles. SpiralCandles.com is the place to go. Your wife, whomever in your life will absolutely love these. They're cool because they burn, as they say, spirally, but then there's a wick at the end that you can light, and it gives you a great aroma. It lights up your house in a very positive way. And don't forget the Purple Positivity candle. So for you Purple fans, the team is hot. Well, you know what? As you watch the Vikings win games, have a Spiral Light Candle, Judd's candle burning right by you. SpiralLightCandles.com. It is your ticket to great holiday gifts. SpiralLightCandles.com.
All right, we've got a couple more predictions here. We'll go around the room for the final time. All right, Judd, give us your final prediction.
Okay, I'm also going to, like Declan, give you a wild prediction, although this probably falls more like a Phil Mackey Wolves prediction as far as the essence of it. Marco Rossi will end up centering Kirill Kaprizov and Zuccarello before the month is done. There are 5 games starting Thursday against the Penguins, all at the X. At some point in time here, they are going to put the young man, Marco Rossi, in between their 2 wings who are scuffling right now. And so before November is done, he will end up centering that line. And it will be on the chart as well. So it can't be he just steps on the ice and then off the line. So like we will have visual evidence from a line chart that the Wild has published that will say Kaprizov, Rossi, Zuccarello. And I will present that as Exhibit A.
I was going to say.
Okay, all right.
Write this down.
I love how you guys just keep going back to the hopeful Rossi bin here.
I thought you were going to make it. I thought you were going to make the Rossi goal one again. I was like, is someone going to do this again? Because I wouldn't blame you. But
no, I
didn't. 2 games again because the NHL scheduling is the dumbest thing on the planet. So
I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Dex, what's your third and final prediction?
All right, so I wasn't going to make a prediction about this team until it felt like my heart was ready to do so, but I just can't help myself. I'm going to make a Minnesota Twins prediction. So I was talking with Doogie on Tuesday about this.
What's going on today?
And this
There's
is
some real sickness in this episode.
This is going to be a classic Twins signing. So I saw that the Twins had some interest in this guy, like aggregating. I don't know how serious the interest is, but this is classic Twins signing. This guy's a free agent. He was good 3 or 4 years ago, so why not the Twins bring him in as a back-end option? Write this down. The Twins will sign Mike Clevinger to a contract this season.
Yes, I love Mike Clevinger.
I like him too as a dude.
How many times has he had elbow surgery though?
Twice.
Hold on. Let's Google Mike
Twice.
Clevinger injury. Let's do something that the Twins rarely do. Mike Clevinger injury.
He's had two, I believe, two UCL surgeries or two arm surgeries.
Okay.
He had one in 2000. He missed 2021 with one.
Another one.
I think he had another one when he was young, potentially.
All right, Mike Clevinger. Let's Google. So he had an illness of some kind. Let's now Google elbow. Yep, Tommy John in 2020 for sure. Okay, so can someone forward this Google search to the Twins front office just to make sure that they're aware of his injury and illness history?
D. Falvey at twinsbaseball.com, right?
Yes, and Falvey was a great connection. It's the Cleveland connection.
Yes.
He had reconstructive arm surgery in 2013, the first time.
Off the record, I'm saying it's Corey Kluber. That he's going to sign Corey Kluber.
Didn't he throw a no-hitter this season?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he threw a no-hitter this season.
He might have. For Tampa Bay?
Just get that whole 2016 Cleveland staff together.
That's a great prediction, though, Dex.
I love Clevinger. Right. Cool dude. But it's classic. It's classic Twins. He's someone who was really good 4 years ago, who is now falling off a cliff with his stuff not being as good, and they'll sign him as a back-end option.
Yeah, no, this is good. Okay, all right, my third and final prediction here.
Write this down.
Marco Rossi will score his first NHL goal between now and next week's. Write that down.
And okay, that's fine.
Actually, you know what? Between now and Thanksgiving, I'm going to give myself a third game to get this prediction correct.
Thanksgiving Eve, I believe. They do play at home again, so yes.
Yeah, they play Wednesday night next week. So Marco Rossi will score his first career NHL goal between now and Thanksgiving. Write it down. I'm just like standing at the back post right now. I'm going to clean up the mess that you guys have created in front of the net here. Yep. That's how this is going to work.
It's a tip-in drill.
So, all right, there are your predictions, your accountabilities, and our guest listener predictor, Michael. Great job by him. Purple Daily, you can check that out if you want your daily fix of Vikings. And thank you guys for helping us get over 50,000 YouTube subscribers we just hit 20,000 on the Score North channel and over 30,000 on the Purple Daily channel. So thank you all for helping us build this sometimes often suffering Minnesota sports community. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Reckless Speculation Thursday. All right, hey guys, it's Mackey and Judd here with our friend Mike Schoonover. And 8 years ago this week, Mike, I'm just going to turn it over to you to tell the story. I don't think we can do your story justice and everything that has come of it the last 8 years, but your family suffered an unspeakable tragedy that you are now carrying a torch forward to help potentially other kids and young adults avoid the same tragedy. And so we're happy to have you on the show, and we will have an ask of our audience here shortly, but hello, and please tell your story to our audience, Mike.
Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. In November 14th, 2014, we went up to Brainerd. My wife, Gail, and Matthew, our youngest son, Matthew, and Patrick went up for a hockey tournament. The Bantam AA Eastview team was playing Wayzata on a Friday afternoon game. And so Patrick ended up scoring, or Wayzata scored a goal, and then Patrick ended up scoring a goal as well. And so we've never seen him so happy. The smile on his face, the picture on the website with him and his buddies after he scored is just, it's very precious and very meaningful. But anyway, a few minutes later, he got checked, and it was not a malicious check. It wasn't anything dirty or anything like that. It was just it was a really good hockey check. And so the problem was that Patrick had two underlying heart conditions that we didn't know about. And the one that caused his death was a aortic aneurysm in his heart. So it just meant that it was like a garden hose being pinched. It's got high pressure on one side and low pressure on the other. And it caused an aneurysm or a ballooning of his aorta. And so when he got impacted, it burst. And so he passed away immediately. He didn't know what hit him. And so he had 4 doctor visits in the last 2 years of his life. And he did have high blood pressure. And nothing was ever said to us about that. And It was just kind of brushed off as that's normal for kids. They're nervous being in the doctor's office, or maybe they had some energy drinks or whatever. But high blood pressure is high blood pressure. And so that's one of the things that we want to make sure that folks pay attention to with their kids is if they do have high blood pressure, pay attention to it because there's a reason. And so after he passed, we wanted to find out more about underlying heart conditions and and what we did learn is that it's very frequent for student athletes to pass away from those undetected heart conditions. And so we started the Patrick Schoonover Heart Foundation, and our foundation provides free Play for Patrick heart screens to kids 14 to 24 years old. Generally speaking, it's in the metro area, and it's usually at a high school. And we have maybe 4 or 5 per year. And we screen kids. We take their height and their weight. We take their blood pressure. We do a 12-lead EKG to check the electrical rhythm of their heart. And then we also do a echocardiogram on their heart, which takes a picture of different pictures of the heart to see what the structure of their heart is like. They get to talk with a cardiologist or a medical doctor with their parents and go over their results and learn more about their heart. And then we also teach them how to do CPR, how to use an AED. And then our foundation donates an AED to the host school. So we've had 26 screenings in the last 7-8 years, screened over 4,000 kids, and found well over 200 kids that have had high blood pressure, and another 250 kids that have either an electrical or structural heart defect. So Patrick's doing good work, and he's smiling down from where he's at right now.
That's a great story. So how did you then, after such an unspeakable tragedy, how did you regroup as a parent, but also think, okay, this is awful, but then to have the ability to say that you don't want this to certainly occur with people and families. How did the genesis of that start to try and make as big a positive as possible out of something that was so awful?
Well, it was Patrick passed on a Friday early evening, and they actually shut the tournament down. Nobody, it was a big tournament. The Blue Ox tournament is a big Bantam tournament, so they shut the tournament down, and the whole hockey world was abuzz with the passing of a hockey player on the ice. So we didn't know that it was a heart condition at the time. We only found that out, a couple days later after the medical examiner's report. But in the meantime, we thought it was a broken neck or a head injury or something along those lines. So hockey was on the hot seat for a little bit there because it was a hockey injury. But after we kind of gained our senses, we had so much support from the community and in the Minnesota hockey world and actually the national hockey world. It was just amazing how many people reached out and supported us and helped us get through it. So after we learned that it was a heart condition, that just got us on the path of we got to figure out what's going on here and realizing that it is quite common for student athletes to pass away from that. And we did not want parents to feel what we were feeling. So he lives on with what we're doing, and we're able to talk about him a lot, and he's able to help, our family is able to help others, and Patrick is able to spread the word of healthy hearts in young athletes. Because a lot of stuff we find out is things that aren't found out until people are older, and then it causes lifestyle changes. People aren't healthy then, and if you don't have a good heart, you're not living a healthy lifestyle, or you're not able to exercise. So it's really important to that we're finding this early, and we'd really like to work ourselves out of a job here and have these screenings be part of a sports physical or a regular physical or some type of new physical for young people to test the heart. So because I think we'd save a lot of folks from some illness and that type of thing if they know that they have a bad heart to begin with. So sometimes it's too late. People are too old to have heart surgery, or they're not able to have a valve replaced or doing something along those lines. So that's really, we hope we can work ourselves out of a job here and let the medical community take over.
And so, we would love this week. So it's Give to the Max Days this week, and we would love to even just raise $1,000 and kind of go from there here on Score North. So I guess our ask to you guys, the audience, is if you can even give a few dollars, $20, $50, whatever it is, to givemn.org/score for Patrick. That's SKOR for Patrick. Givemn.org/score for Patrick. And we would just love to see if we can raise some money and move this cause forward and help the Patrick Schoonover Heart Foundation. So, Mike, any final words from you here as we say goodbye for now and look to raise some money?
Well, thank you for doing this, and the listeners should know that all of our we're all volunteer based. There's no paid staff. We watch our money, we utilize our money well, and all the money goes towards buying really good equipment so that we can test these kids. And then we also do have to pay some medical professionals to come and help us because they are very short. The supply of medical professionals is short, so we gotta sometimes pay those folks. But yeah, so thanks a lot, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. And again, the website is givemn.org/score for Patrick, SKOR for Patrick, Mike Schoonover, and the Patrick Schoonover Heart Foundation. Thank you, guys, Mackey and Judd.